received an email question from Chris who wanted me to elaborate on the idea of how does complacency factor into injuries. If you have followed me for any period of time, you're going to notice that there tends to be a large amount of redundancy associated with sleep, hydration, nutrition, and the ability to absorb. And I find that these subjects become redundant because of the amount of misinformation that's floating around on the internet. And what I mean by that is I may talk about trying to avoid a calorie gap. I may talk about maintaining proper hydration. I may talk about the dangers associated with high intensity interval training or intermittent fasting. And that's because certain concepts get taken out of context that become detrimental both to your health and your performance. So in our video series, what I'm always trying to do is just help you guys have clarity as to what would cause, how would complacency cause an injury? When we look at the repetitive conversation about hydration and nutrition and sleep and recovery, if you follow me for any period of time, you have some fundamental elements of knowledge. You know that your proper hydration levels start with knowing how much fluid you need to take in on a per day basis. You know how to calculate your sweat rate. You put those two together, you're properly hydrated. Well, if you don't know those formulas and you become dehydrated, it could lead to injury. See where complacency, now again, don't take that, if you're new to our videos and you don't have that knowledge base, please contact us, let us help kind of clarify it. Watch some of our other videos, they're all by category. The idea here is if you know what to do from a hydration standpoint and you choose not to do it, that's complacency, that leads to an injury. If you understand that when you're in the gym, if you're lifting weight to the point that you can't control the weight, i.e., let's take a bicep curl, if you have to initiate the lift, bouncing it off your thighs, that's not a controllable lift. Now again, I'm not trying to dent your ego in any shape, form, or size. I want you to stop and think about how stressful is that, how stressful and what kind of strain are you putting on the attachments, long head of biceps. Have you known anybody or done it yourself where you've actually hurt your shoulder lifting too much weight in the bicep? Well, that's because you jeopardize the integrity of the insertion of long head of biceps in the shoulder trying to lift too much weight. See, if you know certain things about, like for example, we want to lift weight without any momentum, that reduces the risk of injury. If you know it and you choose to do the opposite because your ego is getting caught up with somebody on the internet or training in the gym with somebody, that knowledge, not adhering to it, becomes complacency, which leads to an injury. When we look at something like sleep, you guys know that you need 2 hours of deep sleep, ideally less than 15 minutes of wake time, shooting for a goal of 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night. I get it. That may seem idealistic for some of you because of your schedule right now, personally and professionally. I don't live in a glass house, I understand it. However, when you notice that you're struggling to finish a workout mentally and physically, and you still keep trying to smash that square peg into a round hole, knowing that your body needs rest, thinking you can push through fatigue, you're essentially going to be driving yourself into an injury. Now, I don't want this video to be Debbie Downer. I'd rather you guys take the conversation and spin it the other direction. If you know what to do, simply do it. And when you do it, it will reduce your risk of an injury. You hear me say it all the time. The only two things that will slow down your incremental improvement day over day is getting injured or getting sick. If you're eating and sleeping enough, your immune system will be stronger. When you're staying hydrated and you're lifting properly and you know your critical speed numbers and your threshold of fatigue, and it fits into your training cycle that you're currently working under, you're going to reduce your risk of injury and guarantee incremental improvement. So I thought this was a great question, as always, from Chris. Complacency can lead to an injury. That's why I appreciate you guys watching these videos. Our goal here is to make sure that we essentially debunk a lot of the misinformation that's out there. I want to make sure that within our business, we use the KISS acronym. Keep it simple and sustainable. Notice how your brain went keep it simple, stupid. That just shows you what we've been taught as a child. Always follow a formula that keeps it simple and sustainable. Sure, you might have to learn a few words. You might have to calculate a few numbers when it comes to your sweat. But once you know it, you know what not to do. So hopefully this helps reduce your risk of injuries. I want to say thank you for sticking with me on this video today. We put out a new video here on YouTube every day, so please like and subscribe. And if you happen to have a question you'd like us to break down, please do me a favor, send it to contact@coachrob.com. Me and my team will break down the information. We'll do some research, get it into a video for you, and we'll share it with all of our subscribers. Thank you for watching today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.